Welcome back to the Michael Baisden Show. Have a very serious topic going on about teen and HIV. I wanted to talk to Conscience, who's an HIV author, playwright, and CEO of Getting Unstuck Project. Tell me about the project, Conscience.
Hey, Michael. Hey, George. How you doing?
We're good. Thanks.
We're just a little devastated over these numbers, man. It's very dramatic how many teens have HIV and STDs.
It's astronomical. It's really ridiculous.
Yeah.
And the problem is that they haven't come to see my play. Because in my play, I show them exactly how you become infected. And another problem is that when the educators sit down and educate, and these doctors with these PhDs sit down and educate, a lot of the terms are over the head of the kids. Like, they don't understand what they're saying. But if you get somebody like me on stage that shows you physically what you're doing wrong in the bedroom.
Tell me what happens in the stage play to give people the right idea.
So what happens in the stage play, Getting Unstuck, Homeless to Hollywood. I'm up there on the stage, and I'm telling the entire story of Getting Unstuck, the book, Girl to Girl, You Can Be Infected Indeed. And I go through different props up on the stage with me, and I have music that's playing in the background that sets the tone for each part of my life that I've gone through. And then what happens is a short film comes on that takes you back into repressed memories of my childhood that I forgot about.
So all those things have a relationship to people catching HIV. Tell me how their past relates to that.
Typically what happens is the things that have happened to you as a child are a direct influence on what you become as an adult.
Unprotected sex, promiscuousness, drugs, the whole nine.
Yes, exactly. Now, some people may argue and say, well, nothing ever happened to me as a child. Then why are you promiscuous? Then why are you not, taking care of yourself?
Why don't you love yourself enough to protect yourself?
Right. So there is something that happened. It may not have been something so traumatic like in my case, but there's something that is causing you not to want to take care of yourself.
Let me ask you about your case, Conscience. You have HIV?
Yes, sir. I've been positive for 19 years, and I look just like I look in the picture on my website. It's funny because people like me can pass for people who look just like you that are uninfected.
What was it like the day that you found out that you were infected, Conscience?
Wow. I mean, Michael, you know what? I was in complete denial because I knew that the person that I slept with for the last 3 years consistently did not have the virus, but come to find out this person had AIDS. And look normal, Michael. Like, I'm telling you, like, if you go on my website, just if you have your computer in front of you,
www.igotunstuck.org.
Look at my picture. And I'm telling you, and I'm not saying that, everyone who becomes HIV positive is going to look like me, because it depends on your parents' genes. So depending on what your parents give you as genes will determine how long you can withstand this virus. Now, people who have contracted the virus have gone from, oh my God, the first month to 12 months later, and they're really twisted out, and they can't take the medication, Michael.
Are they finding out too late?
Yeah, because if you think about it, I'm 46. Okay,
you look great.
Yeah, you see my picture, right?
Yeah,
I don't
absolutely.
Look 46,
you look great.
But Michael, let me explain something to you. What happens is that means that I was in my 20s and I was infected and didn't know. You see what I'm saying? If you do the math, go back 19 years, I was in my 20s and didn't know. What happened with me was I got tested, and I found out very, very early. So I never made the transition to AIDS.
That's right. That's what we talked about, early testing, George.
Absolutely.
I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions, and I need you just to follow up and give me as many answers as you can, because I need this for my listeners, man, those people who are suffering with HIV and AIDS. I know you have a one-woman show called Unstuck. Sir. You all can check out the website, www.igotunstuck.org. You found out you were HIV positive in 20. You found out before it turned into full-blown AIDS. What inspired you to go out here and start talking to other people about it?
I knew that I had a self-discovery in which I found out a lot of things about myself. When I found out I was positive, I was sitting in a program. I had been using drugs and alcohol since I was 7 years old. So for 25 years, I had forgotten about my childhood, the abuse I went through and everything. So when I got into this program, I had everything come back to me, and then I found out I was positive on top of that.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? So,
when you're out here speaking to people about it, I mean, the day that you find out, let me back up a little bit. What is it like the day that you find out? The moment you find out, how did you get that news?
Well, you're sitting in there, and they hand you a piece of paper, and they say that you've come back reactant.
Reactant, that's right.
See, that's a term that they use. See, the kids don't know what that means. I guarantee you, ask a 17-year-old on the street, what does that mean? They don't know.
They don't know.
That's why I say, come to my play. I'm going to explain everything to you. I'm going to show you what you're doing wrong. I'm going to teach you the difference between sperm and semen. A lot of people don't know what the difference between sperm and semen is and how you can be infected. They don't understand what happens in the vaginal fluid and how you can be infected. They don't understand the blood and the concentration of how you can be infected. I'll break it down. Let me tell you something. I'll break it down so lovely that at the end, you're going to be standing for an ovation.
Well, I can see they're standing for an ovation on the website. You all need to check out the site while we're doing this right now. IGotUnstuck.org. One more thing I want to ask you. When you're in the audience, how many of us are infected that you're running into out there?
Michael, at the end of the show, so many people want to come to me and tell me about their status. Women and men have kids that they're worried about in school, these teenagers that are having unprotected sex. They want me to come out to the schools and speak. They want me to come to the university and speak. They want me to come to the churches and speak.
It's Conscience. She's putting it down. You need to check out her one-woman show, all the details. IGotUnstuck.org on the Michael Baisden Show.